All right, we are live on YouTube. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. Glad you could all join me here tonight on this beautiful, amazing Saturday evening. Hope you're all doing well wherever you're at. You know, it's been a while since I've done one of these in-studio live streams, and because I've actually taken some time off lately and been focused on some other things, I figured I'd give you folks a stream tonight for many reasons. Number one, I have a great topic and some great dating stories to share with you folks, as always. But secondly, I wanted to also make you folks aware that I've made a brand new update to my studio. As you can see, there's this big, huge microphone here in my face. This big, huge microphone here in my face. And basically, I ended up buying a boom stand because after 5 years of using the Blue Yeti on the tabletop stand that it comes with, you know, I realized I can get better sound if I get the microphone closer to my face. I know it's something small and minor, but I'm sure you can already tell the sound difference. So welcome to the new boom stand for the Blue Yeti. Additionally, if you look at the right side of the screen here, I have moved the chat from, the left side of the screen here. I've moved the chat from the right side of the screen to the left side of the screen because I figured it would just look a lot better and not be distracted by the microphone. And, you know, I've been focusing a lot lately on really trying to give you folks the best possible audio and video quality on top of great content. So it can be easy to listen to and very pleasing to your ears and eyes. You know, I ended up getting a boom stand for my iPhone 12 Pro Max that I use to record out of the studio videos. More of those are coming soon. And when I do my Walking with Purpose live streams, I have a headset microphone with a windscreen on it, as close to my mouth as possible to give you the best possible sound. So there's a little update regarding what's been going on with me. Let me just make sure that the notification has gone out, and it has. All right. And I just want to make sure things are rolling smoothly because it's been a while since I've actually run an in-studio stream. Let's see if it's working. What's been going on with me? Sounds good, huh? Make sure that the notification has gone out, and it has. All right. And I just want to make sure things are... Yeah. All right. Everything's rolling well, and there's Nightbot. Nightbot's still working. That's great. So I have great security here as well. Without further ado, first of all, let me just say hello to my wonderful, amazing lady that spent the last couple of days with me. She just left a few hours ago and just got back home, and I believe she's tuning in live. It was great to spend the last few days with you. It's been one heck of a week, folks, and sometimes you just have to, tune out work for a little bit, take a little time off, and balance your work and personal life, so that way, you don't get overwhelmed. You don't get burnt out. You got to balance it out and really enjoy life. But it's great to be back. It's great to be back. And enough of that. Let's just get right to it because there's a lot to go over and only plan on being on here probably for an hour and a half to 2 hours or so. I mean, I am a little tired. It's been a long week. But yeah, we're gonna do this. So the topic of tonight's stream is, do women really want to make the first move, plus crazy dating stories, volume 6. One more time. Do women really want to make the first move, plus crazy dating stories, volume 6. Here's how tonight's show is going to go. First of all, I'm going to be going over an article from the blog site, theconversation.com. And it's titled, Does It Really Empower Women to Expect Them to Make the First Move? And this is regarding the dating app Bumble, primarily regarding the dating app Bumble. Now, it can actually affect all dating apps, but there's a specific reason why this blog article discusses Bumble. Because on Bumble, even if you match with a woman, if you're a guy and you swipe right and a woman swipes right and you match, the woman has to initiate contact first before you as the guy can even send a first message. And is that a natural way to do things? That's what this article is going to discuss. I'm going to start off by going over that here in just a little bit. After that, during the first part of the show, I'm going to go over one of 3 Reddit postings regarding my crazy dating series, which is what I'm trying to say. The first one is going to be from the subreddit dating, and it's titled "Ghosted After Incredible First Date." Ghosted after incredible first date. Yeah, it happens. It's happened to me in the past. Fortunately for me, I have a great lady now, and I don't think she plans on ghosting me anytime soon. I hope not. Hey, babe, I hope you don't ghost me, but hey, who knows, right? You just got to keep it real, right? After that, we're going to take a break, and after the break, we're going to come back to the Purple Pill subreddit, one of my favorite subreddits, and going to go over a posting titled "The Golden Rule to Dating: Like Attracts Like." One more time. The golden rule to dating: like attracts like. I can't even talk. It's been a while since I've done one of these, so don't mind me. I'll get my swing back. I'll get back into the swing of things. And it's a CMV, which stands for Change My View. And I firmly believe that like attracts like. So I don't know if it's going to be necessary to change the original poster's view, but we're going to go over that. And then we're going to finally wrap up the show with a posting again from the Purple Pill Debate subreddit, and it's titled, "Would you stay in a relationship with someone who let themselves go physically?" One more time. Would you stay in a relationship with someone who let themselves go physically? Oh, man. I'll tell you what, I've had this happen to me, and maybe I'll even reshare a story regarding why this happened to me in my early 40s about 8 years ago. And it can happen to anyone because, if you start dating someone and you're both in great shape, and then let's say you as the guy become complacent and a little lazy, and you stop focusing on taking care of yourself and staying healthy and fit, and you gain some weight, but your lady still stays in shape, more than likely she's going to lose attraction for you and then fall out of love with you, and then possibly even cheat on you. Or what most women will do nowadays is they'll line up a replacement with somebody new and cheat on you with them and make sure that it's going to go well with them before they get rid of you. And once that pans out, they'll get rid of you. That's not the right way to do it because, the right way is to obviously break up with the person and then, put yourself back out there and find someone new. But there are a lot of women nowadays that just cannot be single even for a single second, and that's why they do that. So we'll talk more about that when we get to that, but I just kind of wanted to give you folks a little prelude regarding, that aspect. So, we are ready to rock it. We are ready to rock and roll. Let's go ahead and switch on over to the browser source. And, we need to switch to the actual first posting there. There we go. All right. So this is that blog article from theconversation.com I was mentioning a second ago. And again, the title is, "Does it really empower women to expect them to make the first move?" One more time. Does it really empower women to expect them to make the first move? Is it really the natural way, to connect with a man for a woman to make the first move? Or has it always been the man taking the chance, approaching the lady, chatting her up, feeling it out, and then asking her for her number and going from there? That's the way things used to be back in the days before these dating sites and dating apps came out. But these dating apps, it's not even the dating sites. It's more so these dating apps ever since these damn smartphones came out. It's these dating apps, these swipe left and swipe right dating apps that have completely changed the way people date. And there's just a lot of crap happening out there, and I'm going to share more about that as I go through this this article here. So let's get right to it. Okie dokie. Heterosexual dating conventions have long held that men make the first move. Yeah, I just said that's true, right? Right? Women want to know that you have the balls to ask them out because women are attracted to a man's strength, a man's confidence, okay? And part of that confidence involves him taking a chance of asking her out and possibly getting rejected, right? So women want to see, do you have the balls to approach them? Are you strong enough to approach them? Because if you're not strong enough to approach them in the first place, then how can you be strong enough to be with them and protect them from any danger should you encounter any danger while you're dating, right? So that makes sense. So again, men make the first move, first to flirt, first to ask out on the date, first to propose, right? And that's just the way it's been, right? But in this crazy modern dating world of feminism and radical feminism and women being empowered, women being liberated, women being independent, making their own money, buying their own homes, buying their own cars, and not really needing men for survival like they used to, it's changed. So let's read further on. What if the roles were reversed? Well, yeah, they have been reversed in many ways in this modern world, and it has completely screwed things up. That's what one dating app, Bumble, has tried to do. Bumble brands itself as a feminist dating app that's designed to empower women. Yeah, I've never heard of it, being branded as a feminist dating app, but I can understand why this site would say that, because women have to send you the first message. Even if you, the man, swipe right on a particular woman and she swipes right on you and then you both match, the man cannot send any messages until the woman initiates contact, right? According to Bumble's website, the app was developed to challenge the antiquated rules of dating by requiring those who identify as women to initiate communication with men they match with. I remember being on Bumble before I met my wonderful lady I'm with today, right? And I will tell you, there are so many women that play games on Bumble, and there are also many men that play games on Bumble too that I've heard from women I've talked with on there in the past, right, when I was single. And I think what happens a lot of the times is that people look at it as a popularity contest. A lot of men and women go out there. This is more so for women, but men do it sometimes too. They seek validation, right? They look to see, how many people they can match with based on looks and the minimal profile that's written there, right? Because here's the honest truth. Why would you swipe right on somebody that you're not at least somewhat physically attracted to, right? So if a man and a woman swipe right on each other and they're physically attracted to each other, they read each other's profiles, and they're both looking for something similar, like a relationship, right, for example. And then all of a sudden, you get to the point of where it's up to the woman to reach out to you, but then she never reaches out to you. Like, why would the woman not send you a message if she initially swiped right on you, right? Well, maybe partially it's because she's swiping right on a bunch of other guys and she's got 100 other options, right? That happens as well, right? But let's continue, because there's a lot more to discuss here. With over 100 million users as of 2020, Jesus Christ, 100 million users on Bumble. Wow. Bumble is one of the most popular dating apps on the market. And in interviews I conducted with over 100 people about online dating in my Connecting Digitally study, more than half reported using Bumble. Yeah, it's popular. It's popular. But my research shows that Bumble, despite perpetrating to empower women, leaves many female users feeling frustrated and vulnerable. Here's where we get to the good part here. This disconnect can be linked in part to the ways in which many men engage with online dating apps. Yeah, I've read this already. I know exactly where it's going. A lot of women are frustrated that the men they swipe right on, and then they may reach out to talk with, eventually end up ghosting them. And what a lot of women don't understand is that, men are looking for certain qualities in a woman. Obviously, there has to be some physical attraction towards the woman, and the woman needs to be physically attracted to the man as well, right? But more importantly, men are looking for a woman that is sweet and feminine and kind and easygoing and has more of a submissive natured approach than a dominant natured approach. See, a lot of these women are going out here and expecting the men to do exactly as they want, right? And a lot of these women will come on out here and try to dominate the conversation and come off more dominant. And because a lot more men nowadays have been following creators like myself online that talk about male and female relationship dynamics, a lot of men are very well versed on the different types of women. And if a woman comes off more dominant and exudes more masculine energy than feminine energy, a lot of men will just immediately ghost women like that, because those are women that are going to require a lot more work to even get a date with. And even if you get a date with those women, it is less likely that they're going to be open to taking things to the next level in person. So men are figuring this game out. And in essence, what men are doing to women nowadays are what women have always done to men. They ghost men that they're not attracted to, right? So now that women are getting ghosted, they're not liking it and they're unhappy about it, despite the fact that they do the exact same thing to men. Gosh, I mean, food for thought, right? Oh, man. Let's continue here. Let's see. When a match is meaningless. Oh, this should be interesting, right? Bumble's attempt at leveling the playing field and changing the dynamics of dating and empowering users to connect with confidence makes sense in theory, but not in practice. I get that. They're trying to empower women, and they're trying to, make it where it's a woman's choice which man she wants to talk to or which men she wants to talk to, right? Okay. Number one, I don't think that's fair, because I feel that men should have the same opportunities to reach out to women first, right? But they're cutting off men from initiating any contact with a woman unless she chooses to talk with the guy, right? That's taking away the natural way that men have always approached and talked with women, right? And believe it or not, women actually respect a man much more that approaches them rather than women approaching men. So this is taking away the natural way that men and women used to connect by men typically initiating the connection, right? And the approach, right? Yeah, it's all about the money too. The owner of Bumble is like a millennial woman, I think in her mid-30s now. I think she's married and has kids. But she wanted to create this to empower women and give women more control over their dating matches. And how has that fared well for ladies? Let's continue and find out regarding what this study said, right? Okay. So women in my study reported a number of counterproductive user practices based on their own swiping experiences and conversations with male Bumble users. A 39-year-old female participant in my study described the frustration of making the first move and not getting any response. Well, what does she look like, number one? And even if she's good looking, what does she have written in the written portion of her profile? Okay? Because a lot of good men like myself, unless a woman clearly states she's seeking something real and a real relationship and she looks somewhat, attractive at least, it's not going to matter if you approach us, right? Just because you're a lady doesn't mean you're going to get 100% response from, all men that you swipe right on and message, right? And that swipe right on you and then you message, right? Okay? Men are catching on nowadays. Men are catching on to this gold mine that women had in the past of, being able to control the dating market. But now guys are starting to flip it. I'm starting to see now at the beginning of 2022, and this more so started the end of 2021 or the middle of 2021, guys are starting to flip it and women are not liking it, right? So then all of a sudden, you're a match. But they would never say anything or respond to you. You wouldn't hear from them. What's the point? Why even bother? Because, you're not going to find that perfect guy, ladies, the first person you match with. You have to go through a lot of matches. Guys have always had to go through a ton of women. Before I met this amazing lady I'm with, I had to go through tons of women that apparently were interested, right? They connected with me. We messaged back and forth, right? We talked on the phone. And there were times where, I realized after a, 3 to 5 minute phone call with these women that they just weren't the right fit for me. Why? Because they didn't sound excited to get to know me. They sounded really tired after a long day at work. They weren't showing me any enthusiasm, right? They would talk more about their work than about what they enjoy doing for fun or what they're looking for in a relationship. These women are not making any effort to basically, how do I put this the right way? I don't want to say sell themselves to us, but these women are not making any effort nowadays to try to get us men. I forgot the word. There's a specific word that I wanted to use. And sorry, this is what it is. Women are not trying to impress men anymore, right? It used to be about women impressing men with the way they would dress and their approach, their sweet, loving, caring, natured approach. And nowadays, they just expect a man to drop at their feet. It doesn't work that way. Men are still attracted to the same things we've always been attracted to. Okay? Women that show excitement for us and they look cute. And when you speak with them on the phone before you meet, they have a sweet, loving, nurturing type of voice. And they focus more on getting to know you and sharing more about what they like to do for fun rather than talking about their work. A lot of women nowadays just want to talk about their job, and that's just boring to men. Like I said in the past, and I'll say it again, okay? Men do not care about what women do for work until we're actually starting to date you and until after we're intimate with you. Like the woman I'm with right now, I've been with her for over 4 months. I respect what she does and I support what she does. And I love talking with her about her work. But it didn't get to that point until after we met and after we realized things were going to work out and until after we were intimate and I knew that she truly, wanted to be with me, right? So that's what happens. That's why guys don't respond, because you ladies are not, are not, doing what you used to do to try to, sell yourselves to us. What's a better way to put it? Like I said, you're not making any effort, right? Okay. You're not making any effort in the ways, you did. Rather than evaluating profiles carefully and swiping yes on women, they're serious about men are often likely to swipe right based only on the profile photo. That happens a lot. Yeah. I mean, nowadays, because women get so much more attention, a lot of men will go on these apps and they'll just swipe right on any attractive woman, right? And then men will see, who they match with, right? And let's say a man swipes right on 100 women, right? And let's say he matches with 5 or 10. Let's say there are 10, right? And then, out of those 10 on Bumble, 5 of them initiate a conversation and you're going back and forth. And out of those 5, you get 3 numbers, okay? And you talk to all 3 of those on the phone, right? You look to see how the conversation goes by phone and the level of excitement the woman shows to want to be talking with you. Does she sound happy and excited? Or is she just so tired after a long day at work that she sounds like a dead fish, right? Is she sharing more about what she's looking for in a relationship and what she likes doing for fun? Or is she talking more about her work? Or is she just kind of, letting you try to lead the entire conversation? Here's the thing. If a woman is really into you, she's going to do the majority of the talking, right? Here's a tip for you guys out there, for you ladies too. If you're on a phone conversation, if a man and a woman are on a phone conversation after you've hooked up from one of these dating sites or dating apps, right? Okay. If the woman is not doing 70 to 80% of the talking, then basically it's just not going to work out. it's not going to work out because she's not feeling it enough to put in the effort to truly get to know you. So when I've talked with these types of women in the past, where it's been a struggle to have a conversation with them, I would be able to pick that up within 5 minutes, and I hate to say it, I won't even say, okay, it's not going to work out, this and that. I just hang up on them and block them. And that's what you have to do nowadays. And that's why women are getting frustrated. They're getting frustrated because they're connecting with these guys, talking to them by phone, and then these guys are just realizing that these women are just, they're not making enough effort, right? And so guys will just ghost in the same ways women have always done it, right? So let's continue here. In addition, many men approach online dating as a numbers game and practice what some call power swiping or shotgun swiping by saying yes to everyone and seeing who shows interest and matches with them. We have to do that because all women are different. Women are emotional beings. And if you don't do it that way, you probably will never get any matches. So to give yourself the greatest chance of finding a decent woman, that's what you have to do. So I don't see a problem with that. Many of them will only read a woman's profile information after matching. That is true. That is true because it is much quicker to swipe through all the cute women and then see which ones actually connect with you. And once they connect with you, right? Once you connect and you've matched, right? Then you can go through your matches and read the profiles. And if the profile doesn't make sense at that point for what you're looking for, then you can even block the woman before she has a chance to message you. Or you can just wait to see if she messages you and see how it goes, right? But the moment that something feels off or is not right, then the guy can withdraw as well. What's wrong with that? Nothing wrong with the guy withdrawing, right? Women are getting mad because guys are withdrawing in the same ways women have always withdrawn, right? Let's see. So again, in addition, many men approach online dating as a numbers game and practice what some call power swiping or shotgun swiping by saying yes to everyone and seeing who shows interest and matches with them. Many of them will only read a woman's profile information after matching. Right. And here's a posting that Bumble actually put out on their Twitter. I don't know when this was put out, but it says power swiping should not be a thing. Slow down and take the time to read a person's bio, peep their photos, and check their feed. These are real people. And that's a woman writing that, obviously. She owns Bumble, right? And what this woman doesn't understand is that women get a lot more matches. They get a lot more attention, so they're less likely to connect with every guy. And if you're a guy and you want to have 5 or 10 open connections, you have to power swipe. It's the only way that works for men, right? It's the only way that works for men. But, after you power swipe and connect with these women, guys, you should be looking at their profiles and seeing if, what they've written does align with what you're looking for. And if not, then remove that match right away, right? Doing it the other way, okay, I'm going to go through 100 women and I'm only going to swipe right on like 3 or 4 after spending an hour to read their profiles, right? And even if they're the type of woman that I would want, what are the chances of her matching with me? Okay? You gotta play it in a way that gives you the best possible chance. And guys are getting a lot smarter and playing it the right way. And they're defying everything that was created about Bumble by figuring out the game and using it to their advantage and flipping things around, right? Flipping things around. And I'm really liking what I'm seeing here. So let's continue. Slow down or we'll call your mom. Oh, that's great. Lastly, because some men are just swiping for the ego boost of likes, women do it too. So if we're going to say men are just swiping for the ego boost of likes or connections, right? I'm sure men have done that. Well, women always do that. Women seek more validation than men. It's part of their natural essence, right? And thus men have been frustrated for years trying to connect with women in the same way, right? They connect with us and they're not really interested, but they just connect with us because they want to see how many guys they can get to add another notch to their belt to further their validation, right? to further, boost their ego, right? Or their egos, right? They'll simply delete the match rather than respond to a woman's invitation to chat. Well, yeah. Yeah, if she ends up not being the right woman, yeah, men do power swipe, right? Some men will power swipe on, every single woman, whether she's attractive or not. I don't suggest doing that. When I was single and looking back in those days, I would only swipe on women that I had at least a little bit of physical attraction to, right? Okay. But even if you're doing that, once you match, then quickly look at the profile and see if that woman has written something that, works for you, or if you're on the same page. And if it is, then leave it open, see if she initiates a conversation. If not, close the match. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? The guy's actually doing women a favor here by closing the match early if it wasn't meant to be, right? So again, why are women getting mad for guys doing the same thing that women have done all along? That's the question I ask, right? Women in my study often pointed out that a match was far from a guarantee of mutual interest. That's true. But see, guys are getting smarter, and guys know what to look for nowadays, because a bunch of guys like myself on YouTube, Reddit, and other parts of the internet, we've been sharing this information regarding how women have been handling the online dating world for years. And more guys are starting to learn what to look for. And they're eliminating women that would have been a waste of their time, right? Right? So what's the problem? Men doing the same thing women have always done? That's just filtering out prospects. That's all it is, right? Unfortunately, due to the gamification of dating, that's because of the way that Bumble was made, right? To more so favor women, put women in control, right? The way the apps are designed to be engaging and addictive, mindless swiping is a common phenomena across all dating apps, not just Bumble. I've always said, don't let the sites control you. You control the sites, right? If you do things the way I mentioned, yeah, sure. Swipe right on the attractive people, right? Okay. Then you're going to match with some people. Once you match, look at those matches, look at those profiles. And if you don't feel that, you would have a great chance of making something happen, if the woman were to send you a message, as a guy, you can just remove that match right away before she has a chance to even respond to you. And she may not even respond to you in the first place, even though she's matched with you. Depends what else she has going on, what other prospects she has, right? All men are doing here is filtering out women in the same ways women have always filtered out men. What's the problem? Are we not equal nowadays? Okay. Let's see. Mindless swiping is a common phenomenon across all dating apps, not just Bumble. Right. So what's the problem? Communication and power. For decades, language scholars have been researching how people connect or fail to connect in conversation. We say that the person speaking holds the floor and they can weld power through choosing the topic, taking for longer periods of time, and steering the conversation in certain directions. However, not all power is maintained through holding the floor. Not taking up a speaker's topic in conversation, either by changing the topic or ignoring the question altogether, is another way to exercise power. In other words, in any conversation, it takes two to tango. Right, it does. As the authors of a study on email communication and response times put it, failure to respond or to take the floor creates a breakdown. On dating apps, not responding to an opening message is akin to ignoring someone who's asking you a question in a face-to-face conversation. It's not the same thing as face-to-face. I'm sorry to tell you folks. It is not the same thing as face-to-face. Because when people used to meet face-to-face, okay, they didn't have as many options as they do in an unlimited online digital dating world, okay? On these apps, you have hundreds of options coming to you daily. In your real life, you may get one or two options, right? So you have more time to focus on those options, less distractions, right? And you're probably more prone to be less rude if you're in person than if you're on a digital dating app. Why don't people understand that, right? Let's see. Let's continue here. I'm not even going to read that. Look at that on the screen there. Look at what Bumble puts out there. Woman fighter, wife patriot, feminist mother, hero, justice. The caption says, Bumble, which has made empowering women a key facet of its brand, pays tribute to former Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg in an advertisement. So how are men supposed to feel about that? I understand that it's going to get more ladies on the app and give the app more of a chance of ladies buying boosts and paid memberships and stuff like that, right? But how are men supposed to look at that, right? And ladies wonder why, we're taking more control of the way we use dating apps nowadays, and we're making quicker and better decisions that don't waste our time. It's because of stuff like this, right? This app is more focused on empowering women than connecting men and women in the ways they were naturally meant to connect before all of this feminist stuff came into play about 55 years ago. But it's more apparent nowadays because in the modern world, we have social media to make it more apparent, right? And we have these dating apps to even make it more apparent, right? And the owner of the app and the owners of these apps are going to do whatever it takes to make as much money as possible, right? For as long as possible. Okay? On Bumble, women may be given the control to take the floor first and direct the initial topic of conversation through, as Bumble terms it, first move privileges. However, when men fail to respond or unmatch after receiving that opening message, the women in my study reported feeling dismissed, rejected, and ultimately disempowered. That's not what's happening. Women are doing the same thing or the same things to men. Why are women allowed to dismiss us guys, reject us guys, and disempower us guys, but we can't do the same thing when we're not feeling the connection? What is the difference? What's the difference? It's a bunch of crap, in my opinion. In 2020, Bloomberg published an article exploring Bumble's marketing tactics and brand messaging. Though the company maintains that requiring women to message first reduces harassment and creates a kinder exchange between two people, the author of the article noted that Bumble was never able to provide tangible proof of how Bumble was keeping women safer or leading to more equitable relationships. That's not what Bumble is doing. It doesn't make women any safer doing it this way, okay? All it does, it leads women to believe initially that they're getting a safer place, and this app is more geared towards helping women succeed at dating than men, when the truth of the matter is, it's just a way to get women on this platform and make their money, right? That's all it is, right? That's all it is. Period. End of story. Let's go. Switching poles doesn't solve the problem. On a positive note, Bumble has become a catalyst for conversation about gender power and communication in online dating. And while many may not be ready for women to make the first move, most of the male and female Bumble users in my study noted that they choose the app precisely because of its philosophy of empowering women. That's why women are choosing it. Men are just choosing it as another option. Like when I was single, I was on Bumble, Hinge, and Match. But I'll tell you where I found my lady. I found her from Match.com. Because Match.com is not necessarily, they do have a swipe left and swipe right aspect now, like all apps have. But Match.com is still one of the few apps/dating sites that has a full-blown profile, and both men and women can message each other first, and both men and women have to pay for the app to message each other, right? Right? So if you're looking for something real and you don't want to deal with this swipe left and swipe right BS and deal with the Bumble aspect of women messaging first and dealing with all this stuff I've been talking about here, go to Match.com. That'll be your best chance. That'll give you a better chance if you're looking for something serious and sustainable long term. Okay? So let's see here. To me, this speaks to the fact that people are ready to embrace Bumble's goals of shaking up outdated gender norms. You can try to shake up gender norms and consider them outdated all you want. You can empower women all you want, which is great. Empower women, give them equal opportunities in the workforce, give them the right to vote, the right to bear arms, give them all the rights that only men once had. But when it comes to dating, and men and women being attracted to each other, okay, there's only really one thing that matters. The man needs to be more masculine. The woman needs to be more feminine, right? If you have women that are so empowered that they're behaving and exuding more masculine energy than feminine energy, any masculine man like me would be turned off by that and not give you the time of day, right? So you want to call it shaking up outdated gender norms, okay? I get it. It's not like, men are expecting women to be barefoot pregnant in the kitchen and being housewives anymore. But at the same time, as a man, I would not want to be with a woman that is behaving like a man with a vagina. It doesn't work. That's the bottom line. That hasn't stopped some men and women from decrying Bumble's unique design as sexist. Well, it kind of is, but I don't complain about it because I already, knew what I was up against when I was using it before I met this woman I'm with. In fact, a class action lawsuit filed in 2018 accused Bumble of discriminating against heterosexual male app users because the app only allows women to send messages first. Bumble denied wrongdoing but agreed to settle in 2021 to avoid further costly litigation. Look, if a man created an app that only allowed men to message first, number one, most women would not join that app. Number two, there would be lawsuits saying you're discriminating against women. So how come it doesn't work the same way on the flip side? I don't get it. Why do things work different in this modern world for women than they do for men, right? Why can't it be equal like the whole purpose was meant to be of women being empowered and liberated in the modern world? Why can't it be equal, right? Let's see. A 37-year-old female participant in my study thought the app's emphasis on gender was artificial and constructive. I don't like it when people limit things by sex or gender. That's a good woman right there, in my opinion. That doesn't feel empowering to me. It just feels like they're trying to enact reverse sexism. Reverse sexism. I couldn't have said it better myself, ma'am. I'm going to give you a big round of applause for that, if I can find my applause button. It's been a while, but I found it. I found my applause button. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Give me 1 second here, folks. Give me 1 second here. All right. By creating a situation where the right to speak and direct conversation is only given to members identifying with one gender, the work of coming up with unique and engaging opening messages falls on that group. Yeah, exactly. It puts it in the hands of women. And on one hand, while women think they want that empowerment, once they get it and see how unnatural it is and how they really would prefer a man to make the first move, it just messes everything up, right? And all it does is makes that app money, and it basically keeps people on the platform longer because they can't find what they want, right? It's just a bunch of crap. That's what it is. Let's see here. Let's see. Men have traditionally done more of this work. Many of them don't exactly cherish initiating conversations with countless strangers, a process that's rife with anxiety and rejection. Well, a real man is not going to fear rejection. He's going to be fearless, and he's going to, not have a problem, talking with a woman or even asking a woman out that he's attracted to and interested in. What's the worst you can say is no, right? Okay? That's the bottom line. That's how it's always been. When I was growing up, over 20, 25 years ago, before these dating sites and apps came out, that's what we did. Okay? If we were out somewhere and we saw a woman that was cute and she seemed fun and she was smiling and seemed happy, we'd approach her. Hey, how you doing? I'm Eli. Nice to meet you. Oh, nice to meet you too, Eli. Hey, you seem pretty cool. Look, I don't know if you're single or not, but you seem really cool. I'd love to get to know you. Here's my number. Give me a call sometime, if you want to hang out or talk on the phone and just, see where it goes, right? Sometimes they'd call, sometimes they wouldn't, right? Right? But you, as a man, you can't fear rejection, right? And that's how the natural way of approaching women has always been. And that's still the natural way to do it. What's happening in the modern world is we're artificially trying to change this. Number one, because of feminism. Number two, because people want to capitalize off of men and women and keeping them on these platforms longer by making it harder for them to truly find what they went there to find in the first place. That's the bottom line. That's the truth. Okay? For heterosexual matches on Bumble, women are now required to do the part. Yet to place the work of initiating conversations solely on one group seems to encourage passivity in the other party, which seems to only hamper healthy communication. I could not have said it any better myself. All right. We are at 45 minutes. I'm just thinking here, should I take a break right now or should I go over the first Reddit posting? I'm going to go over the first Reddit posting. I still have a little bit of energy before I need to take a break, so that's all good. That is all good. So let's go to the next one here. This is from the subreddit dating. And the original poster's title is Ghosted after incredible first date. I need advice. One more time. Ghosted after incredible first date. I need advice. Let's see what they wrote. Just looking for some advice. Can't really find it elsewhere. Okay. I went on an incredible first date on Friday with 23, that's a 23 female, me 25 male. So you're both still young. And confused as to what is going on now. Well, I'll tell you, dude, I don't blame you. And the way these women are being raised nowadays in their 20s, their teens and 20s, they're confused in what they want. So how the hell, can you have clarity when they don't even know what they want, right? Okay. Wednesday, I met her on a dating app, and after a few exchanges, we agreed to drinks at 7:30 Friday. Okay, cool. Right on. You went right for the date. Awesome, bro. You didn't waste any time. I respect that. I meet her, and we end up clicking in every facet. Conversation flowing, laughing, and we even kissed sitting at the table because of the already built sexual tension, which you probably did talking on the phone with her or through the dating app. Hopefully you talked on the phone with her because she can hear your tone of voice and you can see if there's some flirting going on, and you can hear if her tone of voice sounds more, feminine and submissive than masculine and dominant, right? Okay, so maybe that's what happened, I'm assuming. I decided to invite her out with my friends and I for the night. That's where you made a big mistake. You never, ever, ever, ever meet a woman for a first date with other people. Never go on a double date, never meet with friends. You want to meet with her alone, and you want to meet in the evening. And you want to put yourself in a position where she feels safe, but also gives you both an opportunity to flirt and make out and an opportunity for something romantic to happen. Because if it doesn't happen on that first meeting, it's just not meant to be, right? So that was your mistake right there, okay? And we literally cannot keep our hands off each other the entire night. Even my friends were amazed at how well she was hanging. Well, dude, you can't keep your hands off each other, but what can you do when you have a bunch of friends around? You can't just say, hey, buddies, I'm going to ditch you guys with this chick on our first date and we're going to go back to my place and bang. No, dude. No, man. You got to put yourself in that position. Put yourself in a position, number one, where your friends aren't around or her friends aren't around. It's just you and her, right? Maybe go for a nice romantic walk in the late afternoon, early evening. That way she feels safe and comfortable that it's not dark yet, but it'll eventually get dark by the end of that walk, right? And if you're on that walk, right, you walk a mile or two at a park, and it starts getting dark, like the evening is coming, and it starts to get a little bit dark, but it's not totally dark yet, okay? If she feels comfortable with you, right? She's going to show you that she wants to be kissed or held or something, right? And if that happens right then and there, before you even invest any money or anything else, right? You're going to know if she's into you. And if she's into you, then you can say, hey, seems like you're having a great time. I'm having a great time. You want to go grab some dinner or some food, right? I would love to. I would love to, right? And that's after you've spent time with her on this walk and you got some romance from her, right? When you both are alone, right? And you also want to test a woman, because if a woman feels comfortable with you from the get-go, she's going to want to meet with you alone and not with other people around. If a woman insists or is okay meeting you in a group setting, that means nothing's going to happen and she's not really that into you. So you screwed that up, brother. You did. You really did. We end up having an amazing night, and I take her home at about 3 a.m. We hang at her apartment for a while and decide not to have sex because of our strong feelings for each other and not wanting to rush things too much. Why would you bring her to your place? Or why would you go to her apartment? Why would she bring you to her apartment if she didn't want to sleep with you? Come on. Come on, dude. I can understand wanting to wait till the second or third date. I have done that with women in the past. I mean, most women that I ended up being in a relationship with, they wanted to sleep with me on the first night. But because I really liked them and, I wanted it to be a little special, right? Okay. I said, hey, let's do something more special the second time around before this happens. But see, I would never, ever bring a woman over to my place or go to her place on a first date. I would meet her in a public setting. Sometimes like I've said in the past, I would meet women in the early evening at a supermarket parking lot. We'd sit in my car and talk and see how it feels, or meet up for a walk or something like that. Okay. That's the right way to do it. Right. And let's say, like I said, you end up making out on the first date and you're both into each other and you feel like you want that intimacy to happen. At that point, as the guy, you can say, hey, look, I'm really enjoying, spending time with you. You're an amazing woman. And I really feel the same way you feel. I mean, she may say she's turned on. You may say you're turned on. But look her in the eyes and say, you know what? I want this to last. I don't want to do this tonight because I don't want it to be a one-time thing. Okay? So let's call it a night. Let's set up a time, or maybe we can go away for the weekend next weekend and go on a hiking adventure and get a nice suite with a beautiful view and do that and see how she reacts to that. If she's really into you for the right reason, she's going to be able to wait, till the second or third date, right? Okay. If she's not willing to wait till the second or third date, it means she was just looking for a fling, and because she realized you were looking for something more real, that you two were not compatible, according to what she was seeking. That's what I think happened here. She brought you over to her place, dude. She wanted to bang you for one time. That's the bottom line. That's what I think. That's what I would guess. So, we hang out. We hang at her apartment for a while and decided to not have sex because of our strong feelings for each other and not wanting to rush things too much. Before leaving, she even mentioned that it was the best first date she's been on and could not wait to see me again. Okay, that's great. Sometimes women will say that, and then women are the masters of changing their mind or their minds all the time, right? You got to wait to see how the woman feels the next day. It's not about how she feels that night she meets you. It's about how she feels the next day. They change their mind all the time. They have lots of options, bro. That's the way it goes, right? So, let me see here. Give me a second. The standard thank you text the next day, and I decided to text her to make plans on Monday because she wanted to go on another date this week. No response. There's your answer, bro. Let me tell you something about women, okay? Women are working, and that's all they do. They work, and then they go home. Maybe they hang out with friends. All women want to find a good guy, right? And if they're really into you, they're going to drop everything to respond to you. My woman, I swear, my woman is the best freaking communicator I've ever freaking met. This woman could be at work, practically in the middle of helping a customer, and will drop everything to respond to me. And I tell her, baby, don't risk your job on my account. You know, I mean, you don't have to always get back to me right away, 2-3 hours, whatever. But she is so into me and she wants to show me that respect that she gets back to me almost right away all the time. A woman that is really into you, even after one date, will respond to you right away, if not within the first hour or two. If that doesn't happen, it's done. She was never really into you in the first place. I know she's active on her phone because we exchanged Instagrams. That's your problem. So do you have her number or just her Instagram? Right, well, here, hook up on my Instagram, right? She's probably got a ton of other guys on her Instagram that she's funneling through, right? You're just another number, brother. And she posted to her story since then. Dude, she's not into you. She's not feeling it. She went out and had a night of fun with you, and you took her out, probably paid for her dinner and drinks, right? She brought you to her place and would have probably slept with you for one time, and then it would be meaningless. You wanted something more. You want something more, and she doesn't, right? That's the point. That's what happened. Let's see here. Not really sure what to do now because I don't want to be overbearing. You do absolutely nothing, bro. You forget she exists. Move on. Find someone else. But I have never connected with someone like we did. Bro, there are women and men out there that are bored and have nothing better to do than to go on a bunch of dates just to have fun and see how many people they can get. It's about validation and an ego boost. Okay? Right? Now, she probably found you cute enough to make out with you and probably sleep with you for one night, but you didn't want to sleep with her at her apartment on the first date, right? And you wanted to do the right thing. You're being a gentleman. You're saying, hey, let's meet up again and do something more special. And, we can make our first time more special than just, rushing on the first date, right? A woman that doesn't respect that is a woman that's not looking for something real, brother. That's the bottom line. That's what happened. I was super excited to see her again, and I feel like I have to write her again. No, bro, you don't write to her ever again. You forget about her existence. Right now, you got to let her do 100% of all calling, texting, and pursuing. If she reaches out to you, all you do is you say, hey, hey, it's great to hear from you. When are you free to get together? And then you just hang out, right? And then the second time, if she hangs out with you, okay, then you invite her over to your place and see if she comes over and then see if she'll be intimate with you. And if she's intimate with you, then maybe she really likes you. If she won't come to your place and be intimate with you, she's not into you, bro. But right now, you got to let her do 100% of all calling, texting, and pursuing, okay? Because if not, then you're chasing a woman that's not into you. And it's not going to make any difference, bro. I don't think this is going to go anywhere. I think she was just playing games. I think she just wanted a quick one-night stand, and she didn't see you as more than that, right? If she did, she would have respected your wishes, but she didn't. It's the bottom line. I can't leave this being ghosted. Dude, you sound pathetic. You're a man. There are many other women out there that would be happy to be with you. Totally happy to be with you, right? And you're stuck on this one woman that doesn't want you in the right way? Come on, man. And just looking for some advice in how to proceed. Don't proceed at all. Move on. There are plenty of other fish in the sea, brother. Any ideas on what I should text her? Absolutely nothing. Zero, zilch, zip. Move on, bro. You're better than that. Rise above it. I'm getting a message from behind the scenes. It's my lady asking me to check out this YouTube video later. And she blew me a kiss. How you doing, baby? You can send me a private message behind the scenes. I'm about to take a break. How does the audio sound compared to how it used to sound? Let me know behind the scenes. It's all good. It's all good. TLDR, amazing first date, reciprocated mutual feelings for each other, planned for another date, and then ghosted. Bro, she was never really into you. Period. End of story. She was just seeking validation. She was just looking to see, if she could get you and It was more of an ego boost type of thing. Okay, there are lots of men and women, both men and women do this. Okay, they just meet people or connect with as many people as possible to see what they're capable of getting. It boosts their ego. That's all that happened here. Now, if she invited you to her place, right? You could have probably seduced her and had sex with her, but you're the kind of guy like me that doesn't want to have meaningless sex. You want something real and genuine, and you basically did the right thing. You said, hey, you know what? I really like who you are. I don't want to rush this first time. I'd rather make it more special. Second date, I want to take you somewhere nice. But then she ghosted you. She ghosted you for being a good guy and not trying to use her for sex, right? What does that tell you, brother? Come on, man. She's not what you're looking for. I'm sure there are plenty of other guys out there that she'll have her way with and will have their way with her. She's not the right woman for you, bro. That's the bottom line. Give me a second here. I need to clear my throat. All right. Let's read a couple comments before I take my first break. We're at an hour and 1 minute. We're right on track here. Right on track here. Let's see. Boo-doo-boo-boo. This looks like it came from a woman. Oh my God, some of the advice on here is terrible. Oh boy. Original poster, chill. What should he chill about? And he's wondering what happened. Yeah, he's being a little needy and desperate, and he's not realizing she's not really into him. And then this comment says, it's only been 2 days. It doesn't matter. Women know right away if they're into you or not. It doesn't matter how many days it's been. Sometimes life gets in the way of people responding to texts immediately. That's bullshit. If a woman is really into you, she'll drop everything for you. Hey, my lady behind the scenes, when you're really into a guy like you're into me, I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I'm saying, like, when you're really into your guy, you will drop anything for him within reason, obviously, but you're not going to make him wait 2 days, right? After my woman met me on the first night, she couldn't wait to see me again. She wanted me that first night, but I was being a gentleman, and I wanted to plan something special, and she couldn't wait for that special night to happen. This is BS here. If women feel it, they will get back to you right away. And they will show how interested they are. They're not going to play these games. Maybe she's having a busy week. Maybe she's had a personal emergency. No, she just doesn't want him. Bottom line. There is a possibility there could be an emergency, but in most cases, it's just the fact that she's not interested. Period. Bottom line is, people have lives outside of first dates. A woman that's really into a guy, even after a first date, that sees a future with him, is going to find every way possible to lock that motherfucker down. Bottom line. This is BS. This is another woman just flexing her muscles here. This is why a lot of women struggle in the dating world, because of comments like these. Don't blow her off yet. Just wait. No, he should blow her off. He should ignore her. Let her do 100% of all calling, texting, and pursuing. Bottom line. And I don't mean wait and stare at your phone. I certainly would not do that. That's weak and needy and desperate behavior. I mean, just carry on living your life. Go to work, see your friends, go in another date. You mean on another date? Yeah, I agree. That I agree with. If she gets in touch, great. That's exactly what I said in different words. Don't reach out to her. Let her do 100% of all calling, texting, and pursuing. If you never hear from her again, there's your answer. If you hear from her, say, hey, it's great to hear from you. When are you free to get together? Why don't you come on over, bring a bottle of wine, and let's cook. And if she says, well, I'd rather go out and do something, we'll say, hey, look, I've had kind of a busy week or so, and I don't really feel like, going out. If you want to come on over, we can cook dinner and spend some time together. If that doesn't work for you, give me a call in 2 to 3 weeks, and maybe I'll be up for doing something formal at that time. I got that from Coach Corey Wayne. He's phenomenal, right? Look, when a woman is jerking your chain, right? Okay, you could be respectful and mature and jerk her chain back, but do it respectfully, right? In that case, if she's not going to come over, you could say, okay, that's cool. No worries. I'm not in the mood for doing something formal. I just kind of want to relax. You're cool and laid back. I just want to kick back at my place. But if you're not up for that, give me a call in 2 to 3 weeks, and maybe I'll be up for doing something formal at that time. In essence, you're blowing her off, but you're communicating that, hey, you know what? You've had a long week. You don't feel like going out, and doing something formal. You just want to, kick back and get to know her better in the comfort of your own place. If she's really into you, she'll show up. If she's going to jerk you around, then you give her the 2 to 3 week speech, right? And in some cases, when you say, well, if you're not interested in coming over, give me a call in 2 to 3 weeks and maybe I'll be up for doing something formal at that time. She's going to have to decide, well, do I wait 2 to 3 weeks, or do I go now, or do I completely write this guy off, right? Again, if she's really into you, she'll come over and she'll make up for what she did in the past. But it has to be 100% her, not you, in this situation. Let's see. If she hasn't gotten in touch by next week, send her a message. No, never send her a message again. That's wrong. Wrong advice. Make it a nice one without making any assumptions, though. Something along the lines of, hey, just checking in, as I haven't heard from you. That's the worst thing you can do. Hey, I'm just checking in because I am focusing all my energy on you because I'm so desperate just for you, and no other woman in this world wants me, so I'm going to just, check in as I haven't heard from you. No, that's terrible advice. I had a great time and would love to see you again. That's what he did after the first date, which is normal. And she didn't respond. So there's the answer. If she still doesn't respond, leave it. If she says she's no longer interested, respect that. When someone doesn't respond, it's the same thing as basically saying, I'm not interested. What part of that don't you folks understand? We call that ghosting nowadays. If you follow some of the advice on here, you could end up blowing a good thing before you've even given it a chance. This is a woman writing this. She's probably single too. This is terrible advice. This is good advice. The majority of other posts are super immature and counterproductive if you actually want to see her again. It doesn't matter if he wants to see her again or if he's into her. She's not into him, so why waste any more of his time? There's a lot of teens in this subreddit. That's true. The original poster comments further and says, thank you. I really do appreciate your input. I know the right thing to do is wait, but it is hard. The reason I was thinking of doing something sooner than later is I just want it to still be fresh in her head. Again, thanks for taking the time to respond and give me input. If the woman wants you to remain fresh in her head, she will reach out to you, and she would have already done it. Women have no patience, guys. If they want you, they're going to chase you right away. Okay, if they put you on the back burner, they have other options they're more interested in. How hard is it to understand that? Holy Christ, man. Let me read one more here before we take our first break. If it makes you feel any better, I once matched with a girl on Bumble back in 2018 and hit it off with her immediately. We both happened to be going out downtown that night and decided we should meet up. Unfortunately, while out downtown, she stopped responding to texts and we never ended up meeting up. I got ghosted. Some women will do that. Again, this was a woman that was communicating with you because it boosted her ego to be connected with someone and to have that feeling that someone wants to meet up with her, right? And then when it came time to meet up, right, she just really wasn't into it, right? Because there are women and men out there that will just connect with people just to see if they can connect with people for an ego boost. And that's what happened to you. I texted her a week later to see if she was still interested, and she ended up telling me she was just nervous to meet up that night because she knew she was probably going to be drunk and didn't want to make a bad first impression. That's the biggest crock of bullshit I've ever heard. And I hope you feel the same way. She just wasn't interested, right? Maybe she had a better option, right? Maybe she was just seeking validation. Maybe she doesn't look the same as she looks in her pictures, right? If a woman is into you, she will meet you as soon as possible, and she will make every bit of effort to keep you around. Okay, that's the bottom line. We ended up going out, just the two of us that night. Fast forward to today, and we have been married for almost 2 years. Well, you got lucky, dude. Wow. You ended up marrying this woman? Wow. I guess in some rare cases, stuff will work out even when it doesn't seem like it is. You never know. This is a very, very rare situation, right? But I hope that when you guys reconnected, that she was more so pursuing you. If the connection felt real for you, I'd definitely give it a couple more days and just reach out. You never know what could happen. I would never reach out to her again. If she's into him, she'll reach out to him and say, hey, how's it going, right? Hey, sorry I haven't been around. How are you, right? She'll test the waters, right? If she's not interested, there's no amount of texting, calling, or pursuing that will change her mind. Bottom line. Even though it ended up working out for you, you were lucky in your situation, it's bad advice. Let me read this last one from the original poster. Thanks, man. Appreciate the story and words of wisdom. I understand that everyone's saying I should leave it, but this makes me have some kind of hope. Well, dude, if you're going to put your hope as a man on how one woman responds to you or doesn't respond to you, dude, then that's not masculine energy. No real man on the planet would sit around and wait by the phone, figuratively speaking, for one woman to hopefully reach out, right? Let it go, dude. Let it go, man. And put yourself back out there and find a woman that will more so respect you and your time. And that's it. Bottom line. All right. So let's go back to full screen. We're at 1 hour and 11 minutes. Let's go back to full screen here. Anyway, and I'm going to queue up some royalty-free YouTube music and take a quick break. My lady loves when I do the All right, just a second there. Let's see. It's been a while since I've done one of these in-studio streams. They seem to be rolling smoothly. All right, folks, music is all queued up. I'm going to step away for a quick break, probably like about 9 or 10 minutes. I'm going to refill the coffee and use the little boys' room, and then come back for the final 2 Reddit postings. When we get back, we have 2 postings from one of my favorite subreddits, the Purple Pill Debate subreddit. One of them is titled The Golden Rule to Dating, Like Attracts Like, It's a Change in My View, CMV. And then afterwards, we're going to go to another posting in the Purple Pill Debate subreddit titled, Would You Stay in a Relationship with Someone Who Let Themselves Go Physically? Another Change My View. So stick around! Stick around! Stick around, round. We'll be right back! baby. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I feel good. You feel good tonight? How do you feel? I hope you feel amazing. I'm here to uplift you all, bring more positivity in your life so that way you can exude your happiness and accomplish whatever it is your heart desires. Whether it's dating, business, or both, you can accomplish whatever you want. Whatever you want, as long as you put your mind to it and keep it positive. All right, Eli, lower the music. Lower the damn music. Yeah. Yeah. The song is called I Love You by Vibe Tracks from the YouTube audio library. And I gotta say, my lady sent me an amazing text behind the scenes right when I went to break, and she said that I'm doing great. And it's really nice to hear that. See, guys, you want to be with a lady that's your biggest cheerleader. Now, you should be her biggest cheerleader too, in a masculine way, that is. But honestly, guys, you know, when you're looking to try to connect with that one special lady, you have to look and see how excited is she to want to be with you, okay? If a woman is really, really into you, she's gonna go way out of her way, because that's how women are. And if she's not going out of her way, then why would you want to be with her? And if you're not going out of your way for her, why would you want to be with her, right? Okay? Or why would she want to be with you? I mean, if you're not going out of your way for her. I mean, you know what I'm saying. I'm getting my words twisted here, but you get what I'm saying here. All right, let's get right back to it. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, live here on YouTube. For the time being, I'm not going to be simulcasting these on Facebook and D Live. I have a different plan for my future content down the road, and I'll be sharing more about that over the course of this week. But for those of you watching on YouTube, good evening to you. Hopefully you're having a great night. And just a few other things here, folks. If you would like to support this channel, if you enjoy the content and you're learning something from it and you want to see it continue moving forward, you can make a donation in one of many ways on YouTube. You can go down to the bottom of the chat and hit that $sign. That's the super chat and super sticker. You can send a highlighted message, which will be displayed at the top of the chat. The greater you donate, the longer your message stays highlighted at the top. You can also send a super sticker if you don't want to put out a message. Also, Nightbot is sharing my PayPal and Cash App links. You can make a one-time donation there. If you would like to work with me personally one-on-one, you can go to my website, coacheliasmelas.com. Go to the Coaching Services tab and select the package that best works for you. I offer phone coaching and email coaching, and it is very, very reasonably priced. I mean, I give away most of my information for free out here, my best information for free through these live streams and pre-recorded videos. But some people just need a little more hand-holding. If you need that, I would be happy to help you in that way. Before we get back to the final two Reddit postings here, and these are really, really good, I wanted to mention an interesting thing. You know, this internet is just getting more and more crazy. It's getting more and more crazy. Most of you that have been following me for a while are aware that a couple of years ago, about 2.5 years ago, fiber internet came into my area from AT&T, and I was able to get 1,000 up and 1,000 down, which is a gigabit up and a gigabit down, for $80 a month. And I've been flawlessly using that service for like 2.5 years now. But I saw a commercial the other day that AT&T now is also rolling out 2 gigabit and 5 gigabit fiber services. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, what the hell am I going to do with 2 gigabits of bandwidth, let alone 5 gigabits of bandwidth? That's 2,000 up and 2,000 down, or 5,000 up and 5,000 down. Now, on YouTube, the fastest you can upload to YouTube is 500 megabits. So I have 1,000 upload, right? Okay, I have 1,000 megabit upload. But YouTube only allows you to upload at 500 megabits per second. That's the fastest, right? I'm sure they can allow more bandwidth, but they cap it at that level just to, keep their servers from being flooded, right? But what the heck are you going to do with 2 gigabit, internet service or 5 gigabit internet service, right? From your home? Like, what are you going to do with that, right? Are there any servers out there that can actually accept uploads at 2 gigabits or 5 gigabits, right? The 2 gigabit package is $120, which is a good price for it, right? And the 5 gigabit package is $180, which may seem like a lot of money, but for 5 gigabit, that's a good price. But what are you going to do with it? I just wanted to throw that out there, that these internet wars are getting more and more insane. And it's like, what are you going to do with it? Spend your life away on the internet, right? If you're not doing video streaming and high quality 4K videos, what would you even need that much bandwidth for anyway? But I just wanted to throw that out there and say that things are getting more and more crazy, and that's just the way it's going to go. But anyway, with that being said, welcome back to the show, everyone. Hope you're all enjoying it. If you missed the first part of the show, go back and check out the replay because I shared a very interesting article regarding Bumble and how women have to make the first move on Bumble. And it was an article titled, "Does it really empower women to expect them to make the first move?" Check that out. I also went over my first of 3 Reddit postings in my Crazy Dating Story series. And the first one was titled "Ghosted After Incredible First Date." I shared the story of some guy that got ghosted after he felt everything was going great. Shared my thoughts on what I feel happened and in how you as a guy or a gal can handle those situations in the future. And now we're going to get to the next one here. So let's switch on over to the browser screen. And get to the next one from the Purple Pill Debate subreddit. And the original poster states in their title, "The golden rule to dating, like attracts like. Here's a CMV change my view." I agree that like attracts like, right? A lot of people say opposites attract, but they really don't. I firmly believe that like attracts like. The reason why my lady and I get along so well, even though we have our moments, don't get me wrong, she has her moments and I have mine. But we get along because we're like-minded and our hearts and souls are completely in alignment. And, regardless of, how our days may go sometimes as individuals, and let's say that she may have a bad day at work or I may have a bad day or something, or let's say sometimes we disagree on something, right? At the end of the day, the reason why we continue to get along and keep moving forward is because deep within, we're good people. We have big hearts and souls. And not only do, we care about ourselves, but we also care about each other, and we also care about the best overall interest of everyone. And that's the way I feel people should live their lives. Be good people, right? So let's read what this original poster wrote. "Sure, it is fun to hypothesize and hit ideas around, but like anything, we overcomplicate dating." Oh, absolutely. And I think this modern dating world with the dating apps we have further overcomplicated, right? But again, like I mentioned all the time, you don't have to allow these dating apps to overcomplicate things. You don't have to allow these dating apps to run you. You can run them, right? And eventually get what you want, right? Finding that right person, hopefully, right? I constantly hear my friends, I can't even talk, I constantly hear my friends, male and female, complain about what's out there without addressing the clincher. They are attracting different equivalents of themselves. Okay? Well, that's a unique way of putting it, attracting different equivalents of themselves. Okay. If you're like-minded, you think the same, and you're both physically attracted to each other, that's a great start to allowing chemistry to happen and making chemistry happen, right? Okay. Example of friend one, she's highly intelligent, well-educated, beautiful, and has a solid career. But she also wants to meet her husband like yesterday, and she says she isn't picky, but has more unrealistic standards and a safety test. That's because women have a lot of options nowadays because you thirsty beta males give them all the options, right? Okay? And you guys, a lot of you guys don't know how to properly vet and qualify women, and so you talk with them longer than necessary, and you validate them that they're wanted. But then once the lady figures out you're not the right guy for her because you're overly validating her, then she lets you go, right? She attracts love bombers, guys that want her for a career because they're insecure in that area themselves, and men that only want to hook up. You got to look for that. That's why you have to ask a lot of questions when you're first getting to know each other, okay? When a man and a woman connect through online dating, you send a few messages back and forth, like I always say, and then as the guy, you ask for her number, and you don't talk with her through the phone app, the phone on the dating app or anything like that, because if a woman's really into you, okay, she's going to want to take it off the site and give you her number, and then you can have that phone conversation. When you get to the phone conversation, you can see how the conversation flows. You can hear how excited she sounds to be talking with you. She can hear how excited you are to be talking with her, and you can have a pleasant conversation that hopefully, consists of her being sweet and down to earth, loving and feminine, and you being a cool, down to earth, yet confident, alpha male, right? And if that's the case, then you meet up as soon as possible and see if the chemistry is there in person and go from there, right? Okay. Example of friend two. He's well educated, good career, dresses well, and holds an amazing conversation. He isn't the model, but his energy is really attractive. Okay. Like, I don't consider myself a model, right? I consider myself to be an average looking guy on a scale of 1 to 10. I consider myself to be a 7 or a 7.5. My lady seems to call me a 10 or a 20. Now, I think the reason why she does that is because she likes my personality, and I'm attractive enough to, be physically appealing to her. But also, more so, it's my heart and soul and the way I carry myself, okay, and how I treat other people, which is what's attractive to her, right? Okay? So, you get these guys. You get women that attract love bombers, guys that want her for a career because they're insecure. That's not going to make a guy feel good to be that way and be dependent on a woman, for her money and her career to survive. Okay. And some of them just want to hook up. There are both men and women out there that just want to hook up. If that's what you want to do, I'm not going to tell you what you can and can't do. But at least be open and honest about it. If you just want to hook up, be honest about it from the very beginning, right? Example of friend two, he's well educated, good career, dresses well, and holds an amazing conversation. Okay, I'm sorry, I already read that. He isn't the model, but his energy is really attractive, but he's laser focused on looks, wants a total 10 out of 10 babe. He tries to date amazing women that are 8 out of 10 with awesome personalities, but he gets the ick or she leaves because his energy feels unsafe. With 10 out of 10 babes, he falls for the idea and mostly they lose interest or he finds fault in them as mostly they can't match his intellectual curiosity in a stimulating conversation. The women that are 10 out of 10, right, or even 9 out of 10 and sometimes 8 out of 10, they are the most desired women. They get the most attention, not only from the thirsty beta males, but the alpha male guys, right? And what I've said in the past, okay, before I met my amazing woman, I would never go for the superficial women that were overly good looking and stuff like that, because those are the types of women that are not going to settle. They love the attention. They want to see how many hot, attractive men they can get because it boosts their ego and it validates them, right? So you got to stay away from those women. I would rather date an average everyday woman that's a 6 or a 7 on the attraction scale physically, but has a heart of gold, right? Okay. And to me, a woman that's an average looking woman, like a 7 or 6 or a 7 on the attraction scale, to me is a 10 in my eyes, right? A physically 10 woman in my eyes. That's the way I look at it, right? He attracts literally, I can't even talk. He attracts literally so many women, both women suitable for LTR and casual fun. But when an amazing woman comes along, she doesn't hang around because of the aforementioned. No, because she's getting a lot of attention from thirsty beta males. And to her, it's more of a game on how many men she can get while she's young and hot, right? Because women know at some point, typically when they start hitting their 30s, that's when men start to pay less attention to them, right? Okay. There are still a lot of women that look good in their 30s and 40s, but, if men can get women in their 20s, why would they want to continue, going out with women, once they're in their 30s after they exit their 20s, when they can get women in their 20s, right? Okay. So that's what happens with a lot of these women is that they play the field in their 20s because it's a game. They want to see how many men they can get, and it boosts their ego and validation. By the time they, realize that by the time they hit 30, it starts to slow down, then, it's too late, right? And then they're trying to find a guy to lock down and have a family with and this and that. And the guys in their early 30s are not going for those women in their early 30s to lock down have a family with. They're going with women in their mid 20s or early 20s, right? Okay, they're more physically attractive. They're more fertile because they're younger. Okay, and they're probably less jaded because they haven't gone through all the crap that the women that are now in their 30s went through in their 20s, right? But women don't get that, right? The issue is you've got to clean your own house before you invite guests in. Absolutely. Right. Do the work in your own mind. Figure out your patterns and why you act the way you do or treat people the way you do. Then you'll become a better, truer version of yourself and will attract quality potential partners. Like attracts like. You're going to only attract what you put out, right? How you show up is how other people are going to show up towards you. If you want to attract a nice, sweet, beautiful woman, that's the overall package, you need to be a nice, decent, good, down-to-earth man that's attractive and takes care of himself, right? Okay? There are a lot of guys out there that expect the women to just be incredibly sexy, take care of themselves, and have their shit together. But when these guys don't have their shit together and they can't get these women, they complain. They don't realize why. Take care of yourselves in the way you'd want your partner to take care of themselves. Like attracts like, right? Okay? Tip, work through what you want in a partner, then take a look at yourself and ask, if I met them now, would they give me a shot? If no, then you've got inner work to do. You got to take a good hard look at yourself in the mirror, right? And ask yourself, okay, are you in the best position possible? Okay, do you have your shit together? Are you financially stable? Are you emotionally stable? Are you overall your past relationships? Okay, right? Are you in decent shape? Do you take care of yourself? Do you have decent clothes? And do you wash your clothes and press your clothes regularly? Do you wear deodorant? Do you wear cologne? Do you do your hair? Or if you're not blessed with hair like myself, you're follically challenged like myself, do you shave your head nice and smooth all the time? My woman loves my bald head, right? And she's like, wow, God, you like shave your head. Like every time I'm with you, your head is always clean. Like you shave it every day. Well, baby, here's the truth of the matter. When I'm not with you, I don't shave it all the time. I shave it every 2 or 3 days when I'm not with you. But when I'm with you, right, I make a little extra effort because I care about you and I want to be at my best for you because I always know you're at your best for me. Like attracts like, right? All right, let's read a few comments here before we get to the last posting. There's a moderator that said, this thread has been retagged as a CMV. Please familiarize yourself with the rules and expectations for that thread type. Well, they wrote something there I'm not even going to read. That was pretty stupid. So that was a good change there. Moderator Mrs. Degree. All right, next comment here. Well, I agree with your premise. I disagree with your explanation, and neither of your examples are like attracts like. So this person, and I think it's a woman, is responding to parts of the posting. She responds to the part where the original poster wrote, like attracts like or compatibility, would theoretically go like this. She's highly intelligent, well-educated, beautiful, and has a solid career. Is more likely to go for, and as assortative mating shows us, a man who is also well-educated, attractive, and has a solid career. That would make sense, right? Now, obviously, these are the surface traits, and variance happens when personality comes into the mix. That's true. Someone with an insecure attachment style may go for someone who does love bombing, etc. That's true, right? Now, there are guys out there that, are not able to, or think they can't attract, or it's harder to attract a more successful woman that has her shit together. So they will go after an insecure woman that, is not the same level as him financially and mentally and emotionally. And what they will do is they will love bomb her in ways that no other man has love bombed her. And they'll get with her, maybe have some sex with her for a little while. And then when they realize that, she's not the right fit, then they'll kick her to the curb. And that's not the right way to do it. But some people do that. And that sucks. It does. Okay? Let's see. That's the case of someone who have issues emotionally insecure going with someone who has issues emotionally manipulative. Yeah, I mean, look, if you're a guy that has emotional issues and, you're dating a woman that also has a lot of emotional issues, that's a recipe for disaster because, men are supposed to be strong emotionally and women to a certain extent are naturally going to have emotional issues biologically and naturally, and a strong man will be able to offset that. If you're a man that has emotional issues, I wouldn't necessarily say it's manipulative. I would say you're not in a good place and you're not going to be strong enough to balance out the woman and what she needs in the relationship, right? That's the bottom line. Also, keep in mind that some traits are not necessarily analogous to each other. All these words that these fancy words these people use nowadays, Jesus. A traditional woman aspires to be homemaker, housewife, preferring a traditional man, aspires to be breadwinners, head of the family, may have very little surface traits in common like career and education. There are very few women nowadays that want to be homemakers, okay? Most women want to work and do their part in providing and having a career and having some kind of purpose, right? And that's not a problem. As long as the man and woman are able to balance their work and personal life, and regardless of the type of job the woman has. For example, most women nowadays are doing jobs that force them to exude more masculine energy than feminine energy at work because that's what the job requires. And some women, many women, have a hard time turning off that masculine energy when they come home to their man, right? And that's not good because I don't want a woman coming home to me acting like a man. It's not going to turn me on. So the best balance is the man and the woman, they work their job, they work their purpose, whatever it is, right? And at the end of the workday, they come home to each other. She's a woman, she's more feminine and submissive. He's a man, he's more masculine and dominant. And I don't mean be overly submissive as a woman or be overly dominant as a man. Just be more your natural essence. Be yourselves, and boom, the rest will just fall into place, right? Balance out your work and your personal life, and be a feminine, submissive woman more so, be a dominant, masculine man more so, and the rest will just fall into place. And that's where like will attract like, and happiness will happen there. Okay. A traditional, okay, I already read that. Often what ends up being like with like or similar partners will depend on similar goals, values, and perspectives, as opposed to things like jobs and education. Jobs and education and all that are expressions of values. Right. A lot of women nowadays, like, they value their job over relationships. And that's not normal, natural, feminine energy. That's more masculine energy, right? And just because men, value their jobs, I wouldn't say men value their jobs more than their relationships, but they value them to the point of where they know it's the way they provide for their family. But a lot of men, good men, have been able to go to work and bust butt, make money, provide for their family, and then come to their family, come home to their wife and their kids, and be a good husband and a good father, right? That's the right way to do it. Nowadays, there are also a lot of men that don't know how to balance that out, but there are also many women that can't balance that out. And that's, in my opinion, what causes the issues right there in relationships. More and more women are more career focused than family focused, and they're not able to turn off their career or their masculine energy they're exuding at work when they come home, and that just creates a recipe for disaster. So that's my thoughts on that. So a man who values a high status and high paying career and is able to achieve it will get together with someone who values a high status and high paying career, which is how you get educated people getting together with educated people and so on. Well, there's nothing wrong with valuing that and your woman valuing that, but that can't be the sole defining factor of why you're together. That's what provides you the resources, the money to survive. But there has to be more than that. It has to be more than just about your work or your purpose of your job. It has to also be well balanced to the point of where you can come home, turn off work, and spend time with your family and be a good husband, be a good wife, be a good boyfriend, be a good girlfriend, be a good father, be a good mother, etc. You have to learn how to balance that out. And nowadays, both men and women, but more so women, are having difficulty balancing this out. And again, that's what causes the issues, in my opinion. Same with politics. We aren't arguing over just politics. Isn't that politics, the wrong grammar here, but anyway, is an expression of your compatibility with values. I don't need someone who votes the way I do, but I need someone who agrees with my core values. Well, a lot of your core values are based on your political beliefs. I don't care what anyone says, right? I used to not really be into politics at all until I became a YouTuber 5 years ago, and I learned at that point how important politics are. And the truth of the matter is, okay, your political views matter, right? I wouldn't want to date someone that is a right-wing extremist, in my opinion, or what I call the alt-right or Trump supporters. Like anyone that supports Trump, this is just how I feel, has no chance of being with me, because I think that all those people that support Trump and that are on the alt-right are ridiculous and are loony and need some major psychological help, right? So I do feel that, part of like attracting like is being on the same or a similar political spectrum as your partner. So I disagree with that. But I need someone who agrees with my core values, which part of your core values involves, how you feel about, political views. Are you on the same page, or are you on a different side of the spectrum, right? I've never been able to get along with women and date women that are, conservative, more so conservative extremists. I just don't get along. I don't get along with guys like that. So how am I going to get along with women like that, right? Okay. For example, if you voted for a party that voted against marriage equality, then odds are you and I wouldn't work out. Same with abortion and weed. Right. If you don't have a similar outlook on political views in general, and core values, you're not the same. It's not going to work out, right? But many people will overlook that initially because they're sexually, physically attracted to each other and they have good sex. But good sex and physical attraction is only going to take you so far. That's my opinion. Let's read a few comments here before we get to the final posting here. We are at 1 hour and 51 minutes. Just a second here. The golden rule to dating: like attracts like. And this person is responding to the title of the original poster. Well, in that case, time to go dye my hair blonde and get some butt implants. That's pretty funny. I got to give you a big round of applause for that. Great sarcasm there, I have to say. That's some great sarcasm there. Oh, man. This guy has a tag that I'm not going to read. You can read it there. Come on, dude. Red God Emperor of S country. I'm not going to say that and get demonetized. How is your first example an example of like attracts like? No, like doesn't attract like. Well, yes, it does. Like does attract like. You're wrong there. The Gem 66. Okay? Value gets you value. What brings you value? What brings you value is that you're on a similar page with the person you're with. Why would you want to date someone or marry someone that has complete opposite values and beliefs as you do? What are you going to relate to that's going to keep you together? These people are a little cuckoo, right? If you are high value, you can attract and keep whatever kind of partner you want. They don't have to be similar to you. It's just that if you want someone but aren't high value enough to attract them or keep them, you won't. This guy sounds pretty angry and bitter. This guy sounds like one of those angry and bitter red pill men. The Gem 66, you were probably born in 66, right? So you're like, what, 7 years older than me? I'm 48. You're probably like 55. You've probably been through a divorce. You probably were the breadwinner. You probably got taken for half your marital assets, right? And you probably haven't owned up to your part on why your marriage failed. And you're going to come out here and project that like many of these angry and bitter red pill men have done all over YouTube for the last 5 years. It's pathetic, right? And then they wonder why, they're still angry and bitter this day. They just can't get over the past. They won't own up to any of their mistakes. The discussions we have here are about what the other gender perceives as high value. And at least TRP gets it right. The red pill gets it right? No, sir. They don't always get it right. For the most part, the red pill community is one of the worst communities you can take advice from because it's a bunch of angry and bitter men, just like yourself, that will never own up to any mistakes you made, which is primarily why you probably ended up in divorce and had half your marital assets taken. Pathetic. So this next person is responding to, no, like doesn't attract like, the last person's comment. Value gets you value. If you are high value, you can attract and keep whatever kind of partner you want. They don't have to be similar to you. It's just that if you want someone but aren't high value enough to attract them or keep them, you won't. This is the answer. Original posters' friends are high value and they attract all types of people. It's not a bad way to look at it. Why would you not want to seek out high value people, right? By being a high value person yourself. A lot of people misperceive what high value means. High value doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be rich and have a ton of money. You should make a decent amount of money to be able to afford your lifestyle and to be able to, contribute if you are dating someone, living with them, or end up marrying them, right? But high value goes beyond a monetary value. High value includes personality. Okay, high value includes what do you believe in, right? And what are you against? What do you believe in, right? It's more about your morals, values, and ethics than your money. But yes, you still need to make enough money to survive. You can't be a broke-ass loser, but it's more about morals, values, and ethics, right? But they can't keep them, so it seems they're high sexual market value, low RMV. I'm not sure what RMV is. We don't have to look into that. Not a big deal. Not my experience. The women in my life are so varied in personality, age, intellect, and physical appearance. I prefer my lovers to have little in common with me. That way we both get to learn a lot and not take ourselves too seriously. Well, if you want a serious long-term relationship, you should be focused on more commonality than not, right? Because if you don't have a lot in common and you take the time to learn about each other and you don't find out more so what you have in common right away, when you figure out you don't have a lot in common down the road, you're going to be emotionally invested in each other and it's not going to work out, then you're going to go through a pretty bad heartbreak. So anyway, they are attracting different equivalents of themselves. What is equivalent? no two people are the same in every metric. No, that's true. There are no two people that are the same. I agree. But you can find enough common ground with someone to have more similarities with them than more differences, right? So is a man that is in 30th percentile in looks, but 70th percentile in wealth, intelligence, equivalent to a 70th percentile woman in looks, but 30th percentile in wealth, intelligence? Or is it only looks where a 5 out of 10 is equivalent to other 5 out of 10, no matter what? Or is it something else? You're looking into this way too deep. This is a dumb posting, in my opinion, a dumb comment, right? All these numbers, is a 30th percentile in looks, but 70th percentile in wealth, equivalent, as a man that's 30th percentile in looks, but 70th percentile in wealth intelligence, equivalent to a 70th percentile woman in looks, but 30th percentile in wealth intelligence. Ridiculous. Don't look at it that way. Don't even look at it from a monetary standpoint. As long as you're making enough money to live your life, she's making enough money to live her life, you both are making enough money as individuals to live your lives, right? That's all that matters at that point. Furthermore, you should be looking at, do you have similar views? Are your political views in alignment or pretty close to it? Okay. Are your core values in alignment? Look at morals, values, and ethics. Are you dealing with an ethical person that's law-abiding and is kind, caring, and considerate and is not selfish? Okay. Loves themselves, but is not selfish and also is good to other people. That's what you should be looking for. See if you relate on those aspects. But dude, you're looking at it way in a way too complicated way there, man. That's ridiculous. This basically hits at the heart of the philosphere debate. A black pill would say sexual value is weighted 100% looks. Well, where are these black and red pillars? Where are they? They're unhappy and miserable because they're overthinking this, right? They're expecting women to be perfect in every way. And these guys are not perfect themselves, right? And so they expect perfection in women, but they're not perfect themselves. And then they never get anywhere. They just get more angry and bitter because they're expecting way, way too much. They're living in the past. And even in the past, during the days of traditionalism, guys didn't treat women this way. These guys are pathetic. A red pill may say it's weighted roughly equally looks, money, and status. A blue pill weighs more on personality. Yeah, the problem with the blue pillars, they're good guys and they're looking for the right thing, but they put women on a pedestal and they suck up to a woman thinking that that's the way that's going to win their heart over, right? And that's the way that men typically get taken advantage of, and a lot of women will not respect a blue pillar that sucks up to them because it's just not masculine, right? So I look at more of the purple pill, which is a hybrid of the red pill and the blue pill. A purple pill guy is red pill aware and understands that in the modern world, dating is different than it used to be, right? There are more risks financially and stuff like that, especially if you get married and have kids, right? But proceeds, has blue pill traits, but proceeds with the caution and awareness of the red pill, right? And that's where I'm at, right? I understand that dating is tougher nowadays, and there's a lot more risk if you end up marrying a woman, especially if you have a lot of resources, okay? But, if you want true love and happiness, you proceed with the caution and awareness, and you do whatever you can to protect yourself as best as possible in case something goes wrong. But you don't continue to live an angry and bitter life, just because things are a little different nowadays, right? With these laws and stuff, right? Anyway, that's enough of this one here. Let's get to the final posting here before we wrap this baby up. I don't know if my lady is still up and watching. Ma'am, if you are, send me a text and let me know. Maybe we can briefly talk after I shut things down. If not, we'll talk tomorrow. This final posting, we're at 2 hours and 2 minutes, is again from the Purple Pill Debate subreddit. And the original poster titles this, "Would you stay in a relationship with someone who let themselves go physically?" Would you stay in a relationship with someone who let themselves go physically? Another change my view. All right. And the original poster writes, like the title says, I'm wondering how many people would stay in a relationship with someone who throughout the relationship let themselves go physically. That happened to me in a relationship in my early 40s. I was in good shape. She was in good shape. And we got along great. And the loving was great. And I became a little complacent and a little lazy. It happens at times. It hasn't happened a lot in my life, but that one time it happened. There were a few times in my life where I gained 20 or 30 pounds. And then I lost it shortly after the relationship ended. But what happened? The woman started to lose attraction for me because she was used to me looking a certain way. Plus, when a guy gains weight, it takes more energy to be intimate and you get worn down a lot quicker, right? So if you're with someone and they're used to you being a certain way and they're attracted to you because you are that way, and then you change within the first 3 or 6 months of a relationship, it's bound to go south. And my relationship, the woman I was with, she, ended up lining up a replacement and cheated on me behind my back because she was falling out of love with me, but wanted to keep me around because I was helping her in different ways with resources and stuff, right? And then once she figured this guy was going to be around and he wanted to be with her, she ended up leaving me and going off with him. This happens. So guys, you can't sit there and let yourself go and stop taking care of yourself, stop working out, stop eating right and healthy just because you got the girl. Once you get the girl, doesn't mean she's going to stick around if you change in any way. That includes physically, mentally, and emotionally. You got to be the same because that's what attracted her to you in the first place, right? More specifically, say when you started dating this person, they were active and slim fit, but as the relationship progressed and they stopped caring about the appearance of their body and maybe gained a lot of weight or were unable to do activities they used to enjoy in the past. I just shared my story and shared exactly what I did that basically turned off my woman and she went the other way. This makes perfect sense. That's why nowadays I don't let myself go anymore. I take pride, and no matter how busy I am or what's going on, I find a way to do my walks almost every day, work out every day, eat healthier. Every now and then, I'll have some crap food. We all do, but I minimize it, right? Like the few days I spent with my lady, I had a couple desserts, and we went to some nice dinners, right? But after she left, from spending a couple days with me, I went right to the park and did a walk, right? And starting tomorrow, I'm going to start doing my walking streams and walks again, right? I'm not letting myself go because she likes me for who I am, likes me the way I am. If I gain 100 pounds, I wouldn't expect her to feel the same way about me, right? Although I think this one would probably stick around and help me get back into shape. But I'm going to do whatever I can to not get there because I still want to be the same person I was when I first met her, right? And I want her to be the same person too, okay? That's the bottom line. I personally have had multiple relationships with women who have asked me if I would break up with them if they got fat. For me, I don't think I would be able to stay with someone who gained lots of weight. Yeah, I mean, there's a certain point where too much is too much. If I'm with a woman and she's in good shape and if she gains 20 or 30 pounds, I'm not going to necessarily leave her over that. At that point, I will say, I will talk with her and say, babe, I love you. I care about you. You're beautiful to me, but you're kind of letting yourself go and you're becoming unhealthy. And it's not even for the physical aspect. Yes, that's a part of it, but it's more for the long-term health aspect of being around. And especially if you're going to have kids with somebody, don't you want them to be healthy and be around for a long time to help you raise the kids, right? Think about that, right? But yeah, if end up gaining 50, 60, 70, 80 pounds or 100 pounds, it's a different story. Okay? But the way that I am, right? I love exercise and I love doing outdoor adventures all the time. That any woman I've dated, I've always brought her along hiking and walking and stuff. And that helps keep them fit. And they enjoy that and I enjoy that because we're out in nature and we're able to walk and talk and hike and burn calories and stay healthy and fit at the same time. That's what I suggest men and women do. And that way you'll never have this problem here. Okay? But most people get lazy and complacent and they like to sit around indoors all day, snuggled up on the couch, eating crappy food or playing video games. That's going to get you fatter quicker than anything else. And unhealthy too. For me, I don't think I would be able to stay with someone who gained lots of weight. This is due to not only losing sexual attraction, but also because being physically active has always been a part of my life. I feel the same way. If my partner wasn't able to partake in physical activities with me, then I feel that there would be a major disconnect in lifestyles at that point. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to give you a big round of applause with that. I completely agree. Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. I know some people say that you love someone for their personalities and not their looks, but at a certain point, I feel like there is a breaking point where personality itself wouldn't cut it in a relationship. I've never been extremely overly picky, maybe more so in my younger days a bit, but as I've gotten older, I don't have a problem with a woman having 20, 30 pounds extra as long as she carries it well. She's thick in the right places like the booty and the hips and the thighs and all that. I mean, to a certain extent, it's all good. But then there comes a point where too much is too much. It's not only physically unattractive, it's just unhealthy. And what you want to more so, focus on is staying healthy and fit, staying fit for the health aspects, not just for the physically appealing aspects, right? Okay. Let's see. I wouldn't want to be with someone I'm not sexually attracted to, and it would feel wrong to stay in a relationship like that. I think everyone who's in their right mind feels the same way on that. But at the same time, I feel a lot of people would look down on someone who ends a relationship due to their partner becoming physically inactive, unfit. Well, people look at it, the people that look at it that way are the people that have let themselves go and they don't want to do something to turn their life around and live a healthier lifestyle. Okay? They just want to say, hey, I'm fat, accept me for who I am or don't accept me at all. Right? Anyone that looks at it that way is looking at it the wrong way. And they have more emotional issues on top of their, physical weight issues that are making them unhealthy. So, I've encountered people like that. I've had friends like that. And guess what? There's only one thing you can do is just remove yourselves from them because until they're ready to make that change, all they're going to do is continue bringing you down, being around them because you're healthy and fit and they're not, right? All right. Let's read a few comments here before we go off the air. If anyone has any questions, comments, or concerns, please get them in the chat now. To my lady, if you're still up, you can let me know if you have any questions or anything you want me to talk about. We're going to go off the air in a few minutes here. All right. It highly depends on how much weight over how much time and why. People get older, metabolism gets slower, health problems happen, stressful times happen. So I can't expect my partner to look the same forever. It is only a problem if it's a deliberate fuck my health thing, in which case I would first try to drag him to a healthy enough lifestyle before thinking about breaking up. Yeah, most people, and even here's the thing. Looking back at the woman that cheated on me and left me because I gained weight, she was trying to tell me in a friendly way that I should take more walks during the day. That was when I was dating her. I just stopped working out and stopped being physically active for like a 6-month period. And I was also eating crappier. We were going to nice dinners all the time, eating desserts and all that stuff. Yeah, I let myself go. But she tried to tell me. And most women will try to tell you if that's happening, and give you a chance to correct it before they go, right? But I missed the sign, went over my head, right? And most men that are decent will try to tell you. It's harder for men to try to tell women if they're overweight, because women are emotional beings, and we know you ladies will overreact on that. But most decent men will let you know and forewarn you long before, they break up with you. And if you're not open to making that change for a healthier lifestyle, then they'll leave. I came here to say that is it 10 pounds or 200 pounds? Big difference. I'd also say how well they take me bringing up their weight and how it is affecting their relationship. Though I would try to be nice about it, I had my own journey with eating disorders, so I know it's not easy to break habits. It's all up to you, how you want to take care of yourself. It's up to you what you eat every day and put in your stomach. It's up to you whether you walk or run or jog or do any exercise on any given day. It's up to you. It's a choice you make or don't make, right? So, if you become unhealthy and you gain weight and you lose someone because of that, you only have yourself to blame. That's the thing. You only have yourself to blame, right? 10 pounds, not a big deal. You can lose that. Some people look good with a little extra on them, okay? But 200 pounds, that's just obese. If you're 200 pounds overweight, that's unhealthy. It's not just physically unattractive. It's going to put you in a grave early in life. That's the bottom line. That's more about what it's all about. Though I would try to be nice about it, I had my own journey with eating disorders, so no, it's not easy to break habits. Read that, wanted to read it again. Makes sense. My boyfriend got fat and I dumped his ass. No fatties on my watch. Well, that's a pretty rude way to put it. Maybe that's a troll. I've never had a woman that said that to me. That the woman that did leave me for that didn't approach me in that way. She was actually really nice about it. And while I don't condone cheating, she should have actually left me. I understand why she did it. At least I'm man enough to admit when I'm wrong and I made mistakes, right? Let me read one more here. Oh, okay, a couple more because this is very interesting. The original poster comments and says, that's very true. I guess the situation that I've dealt with in terms of my past partners is that they argue it is normal for people to gain a lot of weight when they're happy in a relationship. Basically, they feel that because they are unhappy in a relationship that they don't need to keep trying to impress people by being fit. That's what a lot of people have felt. Oh, you're going to accept me for me. We're together. Once we're together, nothing will break us apart. I can just let myself go and you'll still be there. Nope, it's not the way it works. To me, all that says is that they have created an image of themselves for me to fall in love with that is not actually who they are, and then expect me to stay with them when they stop upholding that image. Well, they stop being who you thought they were, at least initially when you met them, right? I agree with you. I totally agree. I have nothing more to add to that. All right, last one here. This is from Frogs Gory Bit 737, a purple pill woman. Oh, okay, a purple pill woman here. Interesting. Personally, I gained 20 pounds from 125 when first in a relationship with my husband because I was eating bigger portions without knowing it because I was matching his. Then I lost it once I realized. What fucked up my weight badly was pregnancy and postpartum. Yeah, that happens. And the birth control I got on. That was 60 pounds. It is not something that I'm aware of or proud of, and thankfully my husband is understanding as I try to work on it while also dealing with the stress and daily care of our toddler. Well, at least you own it and you're open about it, and if I was your husband, I would respect your attitude on that because you realize it and you're not getting all overly emotional and butthurt. You're realizing that not only is it not physically appealing, but it's also not healthy, and now you got a child, to raise. And, your husband wants you to be around for a long time to raise that child, to be a great child, right? It is one thing if someone is just like, don't care after gaining 100 pounds. It's another when significant life events affect their weight and life. I think in that case, while it may still be something you want to discuss and fix, I think it requires more leeway and how long you are willing to wait. I don't think your situation is different, but if you're talking 10 pounds, it really wouldn't be that noticeable. Yeah, 10 pounds is not extremely noticeable. I think, each person within their own skin, their own body, can tell when they gain 10 pounds. Even if most people can't see it, you can kind of tell by looking at yourself in the mirror or even feeling it. You can feel 10 pounds. I'll tell you that right now. If you gain 5 or 10 pounds, but it really doesn't change your cuteness or your physical attractiveness, you can feel it in your back, and your body doesn't move around as well, and it can have an effect on you. So you definitely want to try to maintain a healthy, nominal weight level, and you can find out what your healthy nominal weight level is by either A, going to see your doctor and having them, tell you, put you on a regimen, or B, go on Google, which is where everyone goes, and find a BMR calculator, a basal metabolic rate calculator, and figure out, what your nominal weight is for your height, and you can go from there. That's it. Anyway, wow, I got through this show. I haven't done one of these in a while. It's been a long time. Let's go back to full screen and start wrapping this baby up. All right. Oh, man. I'm really loving my new setup, loving the new microphone. I was able to test how it sounds, by listening to part of the replay while I was on break. So hopefully you folks enjoyed the show. More content's coming to this channel soon. More than likely tomorrow, I'll be doing a Walking with Purpose stream, and who knows, maybe I'll do another in-studio stream. I also am going to start doing some more pre-recorded videos outside of the studio like I was doing. There's lots more content coming to this channel, so please like, share, subscribe, bang the bell, select all notifications, folks, and you won't miss anything. I love you all. Please be good to each other. Have a great night. Take care. We'll see you all next time. Bye. Bye.